Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for convening this hearing today and for the ongoing opportunity for us to work well together on this important subcommittee. I'd like to welcome our witnesses, Chairman Wheeler and Commissioner Pai, and thank you. You have important and difficult jobs, and I'm thankful for your service and appreciate your joining us here today. And I welcome this opportunity to examine the FCC's budget request and to discuss the agency's crucial role in ensuring that our national communications infrastructure is reliable, effective, efficient, and innovative. As Americans grow to be ever more connected, we demand even more from our connections. Smartphones, vehicle-to-vehicle communication, interactive television all exist potentially on a foundation of limited but shared public resources. And as the FCC continues to foster an environment that encourages these technological advances, it must also ensure our communication system works for all Americans, regardless of whether they're rural or urban, old or young, rich or poor. Even though the FCC is a small agency, its mission touches the lives of millions of Americans every day. In 2014, over 90% of American adults own cell phones, a number which continues to grow. Cell phone companies need access to additional spectrum to expand and upgrade their networks to fulfill growing demand. And the FCC is in the process of their first ever incentive auction, which will provide both spectrum that's currently being used by broadcast television for more wireless communications while bringing in substantial revenue for the U.S. Treasury. The Spectrum Pipeline Act authorized the FCC to start work on the next set of spectrum auctions, and I will be interested to hear how the incentive auction is progressing, issues that may be developing, and any resource requirements for these critical spectrum auctions. Just as cell phone use becomes more common, it's becoming more and more critical that everyone be able to connect to reliable broadband service in their homes, schools, and communities, whether urban or rural. The FCC oversees the $10 billion Universal Service Fund, which has a key role in expanding access to communications for all Americans. The FCC has worked over the past few years to modernize the fund to include broadband access while reducing waste. It is not only important that every student in America have access to state-of-the-art tools for their education, but that every town, no matter how rural, be connected to the vital communications that drive our economy. Last week, the FCC introduced a new proposal that would modernize the Lifeline program to provide a subsidy for internet service for low-income individuals, and I'm interested to hear how this proposal would in fact increase access for individuals in need so they can use the internet to connect their families and friends, but also to apply for jobs or do their homework. And I look forward to hearing about the FCC's initiatives to reduce waste and ensure that these resources are spent efficiently. Your fiscal 2017 request is $368 million, $16 million less than the current funding level. As in prior years, the total spending is fully offset by fees at no cost to taxpayers. The FCC also requests $124 million to operate the spectrum auction, an increase of $7 million over the current level. And these funds are also fully offset, so they have no impact on the federal deficit. I'm curious to hear more about the investments the FCC proposes to make in this year. Aging IT infrastructure, for example, creates inefficiencies and vulnerabilities that can lead to mission-critical challenges and to cyber attack. Funding for the FCC has been frozen for several years. I hope you can take this opportunity to explain the impact of reduced funding in the past and how you are identifying cost savings, increased efficiency, and eliminating waste. From providing a platform for the Internet of Things to promoting V2V communication, from modernizing the Lifeline program to bringing broadband to every community in America, the FCC has a very busy and full year ahead. And this agency is dedicated to giving the American people the resources we all need to do our jobs. Let's make sure Congress does the same for the FCC. We have a lot to discuss today and important ground to cover. Thank you again for coming here today to share both of your perspectives on the FCC's funding requirements and goals for fiscal 2017. Chairman Boozman, thank you for your leadership, and I'm eager to continue to work together to advance these bipartisan initiatives. Thank you.